So, in a nutshell, there you go. Now, for those of you with an attention span longer than that of a goldfish. Hey y'all, Mama Yai here, back again with another Genshin news recap. In today's video, we'll be going over some recent banner speculations based on evidence shared by HomDGCat, FullStopChan, and HXG. In addition to my signature Capitano cope and crack theories. Make sure you're subscribed and like the video to be entered into the 10 Welkin Moon giveaway I'm doing at 2,000 subscribers. We're less than 100 away, so hurry up and get your entries in quick. Before getting started, note that this is all speculation based on leaks and rumors. Things can and probably will change. As always, there's timestamps in the description and chapters below, and with that out of the way, onto the video. If you're looking to top up for Capitano or any other character, check out ldshop.gg. They offer discounts on top-ups, and all you need is your UID and server, and after a few minutes, your purchase is safely delivered to your account. They're doing a special Christmas sale where you can get 19% off the 6400 crystal bundle by using the provided coupon. You even get your top-up bonus. And for those of you who do decide to get it, will become VIP members by spending over $80, which comes with a free Welkin and extra coupons. New users get a $15 off coupon bundle, and if you use my link in the description, you'll get a bonus 5% off coupon. Let's go in order, from most likely to happen to least likely to happen. Starting with the 5.3 banners. We know we'll be getting Mavuika and Citlali as 2 new characters, with a very high probability of Arlecchino and Clorinde getting their reruns in 5.3 as well. Now, there's been some rumor floating around about Mavuika and Citlali's banners running throughout the entire 42-day patch. This has been debunked by an official Hoyoverse developer, so we'll probably be getting the regular length banners. Though there is always a chance that the debunk messages were fake. As for when each character will run, we can expect Mavuika in the first half of version 5.3 and Citlali in the second half. As for the reruns, they're still up in the air as of now. I personally think that they'll run Arlecchino with Mavuika and Clorinde with Citlali, though this could just be pure cope, and as of now, there's an equal chance of either of them running alongside Mavuika in the first half. As for 5.4, things are less certain since we don't have any beta test info yet. Though the general consensus is that we could be getting wriothesley, furina, xianyun, and possibly shenhe. This isn't impossible, since Hoyo has been giving a lot of Fontaine characters their reruns lately. Though this lineup prediction is definitely sus. I mean, 2 cryo character reruns in the same version, completely unheard of. If I had to add my input, I'd say they'd either kick wriothesley out in favor of siege wine, or give Shenhe the boot and bring in Yoimiya or Baiju or some other character that people aren't begging for. If I had to place my bet on these, I'd say that Furina and xianyun are most likely to come in 5.4, with wriothesley being a decent contender since Hoyo knows everyone's been asking for him. And to rerun him after the stacked 5.3 lineup would be absolutely diabolical. Leaving Shenhe in a state of limbo, since we'd be letting our allotted 1 character out of the cryo dungeon and Hoyo's current trend of rerunning Fontaine characters. In summary, I could see Hoyo going with wriothesley, Furina, xianyun, and someone completely different in version 5.4. Though I'd err on the side of caution until the beta rolls around with some more concrete evidence. Ironically enough, we have a better idea of who could be coming in 5.5 than in 5.4. Sources indicate that we'll be getting Venti, Kimitsuki Ayano, whose real name is Mizuki, then Veresa or Iansan, depending on whether Iansan will be a 4-star or 5-star, and finally a 5.0 Natlan character rerun, being either Mualani or Kinich. Though knowing how Hoyo has been hating male characters recently, I'd say Mualani would get the rerun. Kimitsuki Ayano, who I will be referring to as Mizuki from now on, is a 5-star anemo character from Inazuma, who will seemingly be joining the standard banner roster after their initial debut. It would be nice to have an Inazuma rep added to the standard roster after all this time. We're also rumored to finally be getting that Mondstadt expansion everyone's been talking about in 5.5, which gives more credence to Venti getting his rerun as well as him being the last Archon to get reran in this Archon streak. Now, before moving on to 5.6, I'd like to discuss the whole Harbinger situation in Natlan. Some Archon quest spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to view them, then skip to the next chapter. Right after I released my video on Capitano, HXG released a post claiming that there will be no playable Harbingers in the Natlan 5.x patches. This is apparently due to the banner system getting reworked in later patches, so they're pushing back the Harbingers until then. While a bold claim to be sure, it isn't without its credence. So far, there hasn't been a playable character ID for a Harbinger in the files, which does indicate that HXG might be correct on this one. However, if you've seen my Capitano video, you'll know that not having a player character ID in the files doesn't necessarily mean that there can't be any playable Harbinger. Now, we're about to enter some real crack theory territory here, so don't base your expectations on anything I'm about to say. In addition to the HXG Harbinger bombshell, HomDG Cat has come to our rescue with an updated list of character IDs, including one that is currently unknown but is allegedly not from Natlan. Well, it just so happens that all the voice lines for the 5.3 Archon quest just got leaked a while back, and there is a noticeable oddity within the speaker of some of these voice lines. A character that is only labeled as 3 question marks has a staggering 301 voice lines in this Archon quest. For context, Paimon only has 238 voice lines in this quest, and we all know how she never shuts up. Not only that, but Mavuika has 337 voice lines, and she is practically the protagonist in this quest. So you know that whoever unknown is, they're going to be important. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so how does this prove Capitano could be coming in Natlan? It says on the table that he only has 28 voice lines. And you'd be correct. The captain only has 28 voice lines. However, we do know that Capitano has another name, his real name. As shown in the 5.2 interlude quest, he was about to give his name before stopping himself and said that just Capitano works, implying that Capitano is more or less a pseudonym based off his Harbinger title. We know he doesn't use his real name anymore due to it carrying the glory of his homeland and the honor of Natlan. Yet, he failed to bring his platoon home, and failed to help Natlan defeat the Abyss. Thus, he deems himself unworthy of this name. So, my theory goes that Capitano's real name is the unknown name in the files, and that he will play a pivotal role in the events of 5.3, and feels that he has become worthy of his name once again. Maybe he makes the sacrifice play and is reborn through the sacred flame and given his real name. This whole idea isn't pure copium either. So far, 2 out of the 3 playable Harbingers we don't go by their Harbinger titles, with childe/tartaglia being an exception since both names seem to be used interchangeably. So it would reason that Capitano wouldn't go by the captain either. So far, his dialogue boxes have always had the captain appear as his name, based on Wanderer being called the balladeer in his quest dialogue and Arlecchino going by the knave in hers. It is only reasonable that Capitano will go by something different after his quest line concludes. Even in the voice line files, he is addressed as the captain and not Capitano. So for those of you who skipped the last segment, I did a whole lot of yapping just to say that I think the unknown character not from Natlan in the files is actually Capitano under a different name. I personally believe that we'll be getting him in the final Natlan patch, version 5.6. With who else? Probably Ife and some reruns. Honestly, there's nothing even remotely credible for 5.6 at this moment, so your guesses are just as plausible as anyone else's right now. Leave a comment on who you think will be getting in 5.6 and come back in June when the update drops and clown on everyone for getting it wrong, myself included. That's everything we know so far about the upcoming banners, as well as my own personal Capitano cope sesh. What do you think? Are these banners way too unrealistic, too underwhelming, or do I need to be locked up in the psych ward so I can't speculate about Capitano ever again? Let me know in the comments. Also, I'll be doing the giveaway a little differently this time around. Instead of making everyone leave their UID and server in the comments, I plan to just pick comments randomly and announce the winners in the next video. I'll then ask the winners specifically to leave their info in the comments. Trying to get in touch could be easily exploited by bad actors pretending to be the winners, so this is the best way I could think of for now. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I've been Mama Yai, and I really need to stop posting my completely absurd theories on the internet.